I'm going to talk about some Scottish culture. The music life in Scotland is an important part of the Scottish culture, and it has a traditional and modern background and influence. Scotland's most famous characteristic is the bagpipe. That is a wind instrument that has one or more flutes that gets air from the bag constantly. Famous artists from Scotland: Andy Stewart, the Corries and Dougie MacLean. Andy Stewart. He is born the 13th September in 1933 and he died the 11th October in 1993. He was a Scottish singer and entertainer. The Corries. The Corries is a Scottish folk group that played music in the 1960s. Dougie MacLean. Dougie is born the 27th September in 1953 in Dunblane. He's a Scottish artist and entertainer. Now I'm going to talk about some Scottish literature. Scottish literature has a long and successful history. The most famous writer from Scotland is Robert Burns. People see Burns as a national poet because Robert almost always writes in Scottish. Every year the Scottish people celebrate Burns Night, the 25th of January. Other famous writers from Scotland is Walter Scott, James Hogg and Robert Louis. Now some sports. Scotland has their own sports competitions, like the Scottish Premier League, that is their best football league. The rugby league is called the Scottish Rugby Union. Football is the most famous sport in Scotland. Scottish Football Association is the second oldest one in the world, and the national team has played in the first International World Cup as well. Scottish football clubs has had a quite big success international, despite their small population. In European Championships, Celtic, Rangers and Aberdeen has won, but only Celtic has won the European Football Cup, which is now called the Champions League. Celtic won the cup in 1967, and they were the first British team to win it. Actually, they were the first team in the North Europe to win it. The victory was so important in football history, because the Celtic team only had players that were born less than 50 kilometers from their home field. This has never happened since 1967.
I'm going to talk about the Scottish history. The Middle Ages. In the middle of the 8th centuries, the Scottish King Kenneth was recognized by Picts. He would conquer the south with his Anglo population. In 1058, Malcolm III had the power. He was the new king. He was having the power by using English, and he married an English princess. He was the person that did so the Scottish people speak English, and the Scottish people had to have an English culture. In 1542, Scotland was having a war with England.
Feeling my way through the darkness, guided by a beating heart.
Jacob V tried all he could to get help from France. He wrote France a letter because he wanted to win against Henry VIII. Maria Stuart was James' daughter. She succeeded him. It was two sides of Scotland, one Catholic and one Protestant. Maria was the leader of the Catholic. John Knox was the other leader. He had Elizabeth of England on his side. Today, Scotland is an independent nation located in northern Europe, and is one of the four nations that is part of the Great Britain. The Great Britain contains of England, Wales, the Northern Ireland and Scotland. After England, Scotland is the second biggest of the four nations that is in the Great Britain. If you visit Scotland today, you will see the nation is quite different from the other nations, because it got things that mark their lands, like their old buildings, and they're especially known for their special outfits. You've most probably seen their outfits, but I can explain to you how they look. They are with often red or green plaid and have white shirts and black vest over. You can see here. And someone even put on a tie on special occasions. And this isn't the everyday outfit, they only wear it like we wear bunad or kofta on national days, and yeah, great days. Scotland is the land where red hair is most popular. Scotland's motto is "No one provokes me unpunished." 7 of 10 Scottish has blue eyes. Scotland has over 300 railway stations. Most famous actor from Scotland is Sean Connery. Scotland is well known all over the world for their whisky. The official animal for Scotland is unicorn. Scotland has about 790 islands, but only 130 of them are inhabited. J.K. Rowling wrote her first Harry Potter book in a cafe in Scotland.